Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Oliver Velez, Chief Trading Officer and CEO of iFund Traders, inaugural keynote speaker of the first Traders Expo, international best-selling author, world-renowned trader, and entrepreneur, is one of the world's most respected and celebrated traders of all time. In 1999, Dow Jones dubbed him the Messiah of trading. Today, in 2021, he continues to be defined as one of the most influential leaders of his generation. Oliver, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me again. And once again, traders, thank you for your attendance. I have to say that this is sort of a last minute presentation for me. So if I'm a little bit off this time, you know why, but I'm so very glad that the Money Show took it upon themselves to invite me in a crunch. And here I am. And I'm actually going to be talking today about a topic that I'm sure you've recognized has been in the news for quite a bit over the last few weeks to the last few months or so. I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin. That's right. Bitcoin is back on the scene in a very big way. And I'm going to talk to you about why I believe, and why many others actually also believe, that Bitcoin is the new digital version of gold. I'm going to try to convince you and show you why gold, as the traditional real source of money over the last 6,000 years, is the analog form of money. And Bitcoin, having come on the scene just a little bit more than 10 years ago, is actually rapidly taking its place as the new digital form of gold. And traders, as you know, in this world, the digital version of things that represent the analog versions of things wind up dwarfing the analog version. As an example, okay, remember the analog phones back in the early 1990s, even the flip phones that you dialed? Well, those can be picked up for about $34. Remember the analog phones that you used to pick up and actually dial by literally turning the number 2, 3, 3. Remember the advanced version of those analog phones where you picked up the phone with the cord and you actually not dialed, you pressed the number, doot, 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 doot. Well, those phones can be picked up for about $37 on Amazon now. Now, what's their digital replacement? The iPhone, all right? Galaxy Notes and things of that nature. These phones can be bought for $1,000 today, $1,300 if you get the bigger versions of those phones. $37, $1,300. That's what digital disruption does to the analog reality from the past. Another example we can take is the mail. Remember when you used to write a letter and mail it to someone, and maybe it would take a week to 7 days to get to someone if it was overseas, if you were lucky, maybe as much as 2 weeks, all right? That's the analog version of communication, the analog version of mail. What was the digital version of mail that took over the analog version of mail? Email. I can send the same message, the same communication with the press of a single button in an instant to an individual anywhere in the world. The digital version dwarfs the analog version, okay? We can take this in every industry, guys, but what I'm going to try to convince you, I'm going to try to convince you that Bitcoin is the new digital disruption of older analog technologies in the financial arena. Money is the oldest technology known to man. That's right. Money is a technology. It is a fabricated item. Okay. That technology is in great need of being updated, just like all of the other old technology we have. Those old technologies are being upgraded. Money is next in line to be upgraded by its digital format. Bitcoin is here to do that. It's been revolutionizing the space for a number of years. And I have to admit to you, traders, that I was not on board over the last 5 to 6 years, but I am on board in a very, very big way. So I want to start this off by taking you on a journey. And I hope that by the end of this journey that I take you on today, I hope that you join me for the rest of the journey, because the journey that I'm going to show you today is in its infancy. And I want us to take the rest of the journey together. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to skip a lot of this introductory information. You can research who I am, but guys, I am a long-term professional in the industry, going on almost 40 years now. Placed my first trade in 1981. Worked on Wall Street starting in December of 1986, became well known for my trading prowess, went on my own, started my own company. That company became one of the largest institutional trading operations in the country, if not in the world. I went on to actually train hundreds and hundreds of thousands of traders around the world. Today, I have one of the largest trading organizations with over 10,000 traders worldwide in over 96 different countries. I am the author of 5 international best-selling books. These books are written in English, Spanish, German, Japanese, Mandarin, and they continue to sell in huge numbers all over the world. You can search my books on Amazon if you like. And I'd love for you to follow me on the social networks, where I do share a lot of my trading activities as well as my trading knowledge and information for absolutely free. I'd love for you to follow me on Instagram, Oliver Velez 007. Do it now. And I put out a free video, educational, every single day of the year, 365 days a year, 7 days a week, on my YouTube channel, oliverveleztrading.com. Nearly 200,000 people tune in every single day to make sure that they get my daily educational message. And this is one of the fastest growing active trading YouTube channels on YouTube. Follow me there. Now, I need your attention. I'm going to take you on a journey. This journey is not really designed to, this journey is going to show you what I have done with a group of 600 plus traders starting from the year 2020. It is not necessarily to brag about what we've done, but it is to show you the power of this journey, the power of Bitcoin's digital revolution. And I'm going to try to use this journey to encourage that you join the journey with me so that we take the rest of this journey together. Now, this journey will start all the way back, let's say in, as you can see, the year 2013. You're looking at a chart that's dated. It's a Bitcoin chart. It's dated back to 2013 on the far left-hand side of the chart, as you can see. The price of Bitcoin was $100. Now, this was an incredible price back in 2013 because Bitcoin came into existence in 2009 at the price of $0. So from $0 to $100 is an astronomical, life-changing move. Okay, so $100 was a big deal. But Bitcoin continued from $100 after having some trouble there and moved to, and rocketed to an unbelievable $1,200 in a relatively short period of time. Guys, these are the types of moves that can set you and your family up for the rest of your lives, if not set up the very next generations that come after you if you play them correctly. But this is an astronomical move from 100 to 1,000, 1,200 or so. Now, I want you to note that over the next year or so, Bitcoin trends downward, and it actually experiences an over 90% decline. Now, we're going to talk about these declines as we go forward, but this is a huge decline. And at this particular time, every single media outlet out there was calling for the death knell of Bitcoin. Okay? Now we've come back down to 200. Remember, we start this journey at 100. Remember the high of 1200. I want you to remember that high, and I want you to remember this low of 200 here. Let's move forward. Now, as you can see, in less than a year and a half, it took Bitcoin less than a year and a half to overcome a 90+% decline to match its former high of 1200. Now, why am I paying attention to this? It's easy to gloss over that this took a year and a half, but I want you to understand that there has never been a financial asset in the history of the world that has ever recouped a 90+% decline in a year and a half. Never. Now, I'm not saying that there have not been stocks that have done that or individual items. I'm talking about an entire asset or an asset class. For instance, gold is an asset class. Silver is an asset class. Oil is an asset class. The overall market is an asset. The overall stock market is an asset class. No class in the history of the world has ever recouped a 90+% decline in a year and a half. Now that's very impressive. Now I want you to remember this high. Keep remembering this high, $1,100 or $1,200. Let's go. Now, guys, look, this was you're looking at 2017, Bitcoin comes back to its high, former high of 1,100. That's 2017. Just a few months later, it goes from 1,100 to 20,000. This is in the same year. Now let's go back over my comments. Never in the history of mankind has an asset ever recouped a 90+% decline in a year and a half. It has traditionally taken a decade or more to recoup 90% of any market, any class of asset. Go do your research. 1.5 years, we've recouped a 90+% decline. In 1.5 years, not only that, we have superseded that high by almost 95 times. It's freaking incredible. Now, I, believe it or not, am still not a believer at this time. Everyone was coming at me at this particular time in late 2017. Oliver, why are you not into Bitcoin? Why are you not playing it? Why are you not talking about it? Why are you not teaching us how to do this? This is crazy. This is insane. And I wasn't a believer at the time. I'm willing to admit that. I felt like, look, Bitcoin has demonstrated its staying power. It has demonstrated that it is on a track of disrupting financial markets worldwide, but I have to see another collapse. This parabolic rally is the type of rallies that, like I told you, should take 10, 20, 30 years to recoup from. And I said, I need to see how Bitcoin handles this collapse. I need to witness its next big decline because I'm not buying into a rally like this. I can't. And so I got my wish. Bitcoin from $20,000 declines all the way back to under $4,000. I watched this decline, traders, literally day by day. I wanted to see another collapse. I wanted to see all of the euphoria get squeezed out of the market. I wanted to see if Bitcoin was truly going to be able to repeat what it did before. I was aware of its history. I was aware of it breaking financial history by recouping a 90+% gain, something no other asset has ever done in the history of mankind. And so I'm sitting at this $3,000, $4,000 price saying, yes, now Bitcoin, show me what you've got. Now, I know, and I teach my traders that the first rally off of a low after a collapse is usually not the buy. That may have been a mistake, but I've taught my traders this for 26 years. All right. We don't buy the first rally after a collapse, it's the second one. So the first rally after a collapse, my traders know I call it the dead cat bounce. A ball that falls from a high skyscraper and hits the ground can't bounce all the way back up to the top floor. It needs to go back to the ground. So the first bounce is not the one that produces the enduring rally. It's the one after. So we get the first bounce. As you can see on this chart, look very carefully. We get the first bounce, and I have to admit that I was so impressed with this bounce that I actually began to think, is this thing going to just create another financial record by not being a dead cat bounce? It was insane to me. I expected a bounce like this, which is normal. A 33% bounce, maybe halfway back up, but to bounce this high after such a collapse was mind-boggling to me. It is at this particular point that I told everyone on my team, all of my traders, we are buying big on the next decline. But we need one more decline, because traders, my teaching for 26 years is that you don't buy the first bounce after a collapse. You buy the pullback. If this pullback fails to make a significant low that was produced by the first collapse, then you pile in to the play on the failure to make a new low. If this makes a significant new low, game off. Do you understand? So I'm going to do this one more time. It's very important for you to understand. This is my dead cat bounce theory, and you can use it for anything: stocks, options, bonds, futures, Bitcoin, any altcoin, whatever. A big giant collapse and a rally, this is usually never the time you buy. You want to wait for the secondary drop. You want to watch this carefully. If that secondary drop starts moving up, creating a failure to make a significant new low, we pile in here. So I'm telling my team, guys, right here, this is the former low. If the next decline fails to make a significant new low, I'm buying big. And that's exactly what happened. All right. We piled into the low at prices that range from $5,700 per Bitcoin all the way down to $3,800. So I bought or accumulated a range, all right, 38 to 57, but started at 57, right? 57, 55, 51. Do you follow what I'm saying? 49, 40, all the way down, all right? Because I believed that this low, just because this high was so high, that this low was not going to be broken. Now, I want to explain to you why I believe that. If the drop rallied only about a third of the way back up, the odds of a new low is high. But the higher you go past the third, the higher you go past halfway, the less the odds are of a new low. So the lower the bounce, the greater the odds of a break of the new low. The higher the bounce, the lower the odds of a new low. So look, if we bounced up here, I would have expected a new low, but we bounced all the way up here. Now I'm not expecting a new low. And right as we're approaching the bottom portion of this new low, the prior low area, I pull the trigger and I announce not only to my traders, to the entire world traders, big Bitcoin buy alert. Do it now. I'm doing it. And I showed my buys across accounts and everything. Boom, 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 boom. Now, I know some people are saying, Oliver, no, you're just saying that. So, excuse me, just in case you don't believe me, take a look. Here is March 12th of 2020. Go do your research. Look up the date, March 12th, 2020. Look at the Bitcoin chart. That's that red bar that you saw here. Let me show you. That is March. That is March 12th, that circle right there. That's March 12th, March 12th, 13th. Okay. This, if you can see the words, this is the video I put out to the world on my Instagram channel, my Twitter page, and my Facebook page as well. Bitcoin buy alert, March 12th, 2020. Here is when you click on that thumbnail, look at the date, March 12th, 2020. Look at my words. I bought between the prices of 5,700 and 5,900. So I got my price a little bit wrong. So I started at 5,900. But remember, that's the 12th. The 13th, Bitcoin continued to go down, and I continued to buy into the downward decline, believing with all my heart and soul that there's no new low. There's no new low. I've got the low. It's in this range because that rally was so high. Okay. So I continued to buy the 12th and the 13th. Okay. Today was a huge, with Bitcoin falling over 25% today, I made my first big move. This is my first big play. Remember, I was watching this from the highs of 2017. I had done the research in the past. This thing had broken financial history. I just needed to apply my knowledge to this dynamic asset. I needed to see it crash. I needed to see a rally. I needed to see how far it rallied to judge whether we were going to have a new low or no new low. My synopsis was no new low. That 25% decline on this day gave me my opportunity to start my accumulation process. This is all documented. Now, I began taking my traders on this journey from this first purchase. All right, look at what happened. We get a move from the 3,800, 4,000 range, the 5,000 range, which I'm accumulating. And I have my traders buying Bitcoin and other things, but Bitcoin more predominantly, every single week of their lives, all the way up to the former high. Remember that former high in 2017 at 20,000? We are up huge at 20,000. Think about it. My traders are in at 5,000, 6,000, 4,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. We bought all the way up. And my message was, don't you ever, during this move up, sell one coin. We know the history. I've seen what this thing has done. We're not selling. Everyone was bugging me. Oliver, I'm up 400%. I'm up 500%. No, you're not selling. Don't sell. Don't you let one single coin go. I pounded the table. Now I can give you access to seeing these comments throughout this whole thing, absolutely free, which I'm going to do at the end of this thing. You want to see the history of every single comment. You want to see the history of every single buy. You want to see my accounts, what they started with and where they ended with. I'm going to give you access to that absolutely free. Now, what do you think I'm doing at 20,000? We've come all the way back up to the former high, most people would be taking their gains, their 500%, their 300%, their 400%. Watch my messages to my team. Look at this. Look at the date of this message, December 16th. Okay, look at that date. This is my wealth trading program. These are my 600 traders that follow me every step of the way. All right. What do I say on December 16th? Look at the price of Bitcoin, $19,830. What is my message? This could be the day we move through $20,000 price. This will likely bring an avalanche of new money into the market, which will only lead to more scarcity, which in turn should fuel even higher prices. Are you ready for the ride, traders? All right. It's going to be wild. So hold on tight. And whatever you do, listen to this. Don't you ever let go of your coins. I am saying this after a 3, 4, 500% gain for people. I am saying this at a technical point that most people would say it's smart to take profits. I am saying, no, I'm buying more. I've seen what this thing did in the past. I've seen what it does when it comes to a prior high. All right. I've monitored, I've watched it, I've studied it. This is what I've been waiting for. I missed the last one. I'm not missing this one. And I forced my traders not to miss it either. Now check this out. Boom! $42,000 in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever. Wow. Now, remember that high I was saying? We were up from 5,000 and below to 20,000. That's 400+%. All right. There's a lot of itchy hands that want to sell, but remember what I showed you. I showed you the history from the past. That's not the time to sell, not with this asset. This asset falls into a different class. This is a disruptive asset. You don't sell disruptive assets. You can't chart them the normal way, not when it's disruptive. Guys, let me tell you a quick story. One of the biggest plays of my life was in Amazon. Now, Amazon had crashed from $85 down to $5. I don't know if many of you remember, but Amazon was a star that crashed from 85 to $5. Sound familiar? From $1,100 back to 200 Bitcoin. Sound familiar? Everyone called Amazon dead. Everyone said it was the end. It's nothing. It doesn't create anything. It's only an online bookstore. I buy my books from Barnes and Noble. Nobody needs Amazon. Amazon's just an internet bubble. It's going nowhere. And I was waiting for that crash. It bounced up and came back down, bounced up a little bit again, and boom, 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 boom. I rocked Amazon at $7.
Oliver?
Today, yes.
There's about 3 minutes left.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. $7, I still own Amazon today. Do you know why? Because I saw Amazon as a disruptive technology. It was going to take the bookstores out. It started with the book industry because the book industry has 2,000 plus titles. It started with an item that has a lot of titles so that it had a lot of product to sell. Then I saw that it was going to take its model to conquer the book world to the next product and the next category and the next thing. And it was going to eat the world. And I never sold. Never. And so I'm doing the same thing with Bitcoin today. It's disruptive. 42,000 is nothing. Now check this out. Bitcoin crashes from this point. Crash? How is this a crash? 20%. Look at these articles. Bitcoin tumbles 20% in the worst crash since March, but we're up 700%. How does a 20% pullback be interpreted as bad after a 750% move? That's why you can't trust the media. Now, check this out. What do? This is what they're calling a crash. I tell my traders, buy right here, just above $30,000. Buy right there. It's not rocket science. You don't believe me? Take a look. Here are my buys. Look at my team. Today, I bought more Bitcoin across all of my accounts. Here are the filled orders from just one of my accounts. Look at the prices. Bitcoin, buy 30,150, 31,150. Look at where Bitcoin is as of at least before I started this presentation, 3630. And let me tell you something. I'm telling my traders, you better hold on, because in a short period of time, you will never see the $30,000 price again, ever in the history of the world. This, you've heard it here first, right? This is my secret. I don't look at regular charts. I look at the algorithmic chart. And when you look at the algorithmic chart of Bitcoin, this is where the last arrow, the second to last arrow is where we are now. All right. So we're still early in the cycle. Now look at this. Here are my Bitcoin targets for you. $65,000 Bitcoin by April. That's how many weeks away? $85,000 by November. I'm putting my reputation on the line here. $110,000 by March 2022. I want you to take a snapshot of this and let's see how accurate I am. And I've been deadly accurate so far. Now, join me, guys. If you want to follow me for the rest of this journey, step by step, my wealth program normally is $4,000, one price for life. You get every single buy, every single sell, every single reason you're with me every single day for the rest of your life. I show you what I'm doing with my own money and why. And 600 plus traders are following me and becoming wealthier week by week, month by month. Your price, $1,700, less than $1,700. Join me. Let's take the rest of this journey, not just with Bitcoin, but other things as well. But I'm focused on Bitcoin today. Let's take the journey together. Let's do it step by step, hand in hand. I won't let you down. Oliver Velez signing off. Thank you very much.
Oliver, thank you so much for being with us. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And if you'd like to receive the replay of this session and others from this virtual expo, please visit virtualpass.moneyshow.com. And please be sure to join our last session of the evening, Tech Trends for the Next Decade, with Adam Johnson of bullseyebrief.com, John Markman, editor of Tech Trend Trader, and Gene Munster, managing partner and co-founder of Loop Ventures. Thanks for joining us, everyone.